considering breaking up with my fiance because he ran away when we were being attacked. Is your fiance Jerry from Rick and Morty?
Oh my God, I thought you were gonna say Jerry from Tom and Jerry.
No.
The first image that popped into my head is just like a raccoon or something, like chasing them, and he's just sprinting away.
He pushes her towards it. Okay, my fiance, a 24-year-old man, and I, a 24-year-old woman, have been dating for 6 years. He proposed to me a few months ago, which was the happiest moment of my life. We set our wedding date for this December. However, after what happened last night, I am seriously considering breaking up with my fiance, and am unsure if I am an asshole. My fiance, my brother, and I were all walking back to our car from dinner at a nice restaurant. The car was parked pretty far away as the place was packed, so we had to walk quite some distance. It was late at night, and as we were walking, a person on a bike came up to us and stopped us and demanded we give them everything we had. My fiance panicked and just ran away. But my brother talked to the man for a couple of minutes and ended up beating him up.
Oh.
Hey, man, so what's going on here? Okay, yeah, cool. For sure.
Oh my God.
Hey, I gotta beat you up now, man.
That's crazy.
The man had no weapon, it was just a fake gun. I called my fiance after that and told him everything was fine and that we would pick him up. My fiance still seemed a bit shaken, but I explained to him everything was all right and my fiance thanked my brother. However, I still feel extremely weird and sort of disappointed that my fiance just ran away. I understand it was his natural instinct, but seeing my brother take the attacker down in comparison to my fiance just running away, I feel like I lost a lot of love for my fiance after last night.
Oh.
She got the ick.
I spoke with my brother this morning to get his opinion, and he said I should still give my fiance a chance and that my fiance loves me and what happened last night is not a normal occurrence. I told him I got a massive ick, and I don't think this ick will ever go away.
Oh.
Am I the asshole?
Oh my God.
Oh, that's so
Dude,
painful.
you know what's so crazy is I have actually had this thought before where I'm worried about the day that comes when I have to step up and be a man. Like I'm serious. Like I'm not a confrontational person. I'm not a violent person. But sometimes I think I was like, if there's gonna come a day, maybe at some point when I have to when something happens to Raven and I gotta, hopefully punches won't have to be thrown. But when I just stand up and I'm like, I hope when that time comes, I can find it within me.
Yeah, you just have to mentally gas yourself up a little bit every day.
Yeah.
So that when it does happen, you are ready for this moment. I will say, I think it's so sad that has caused a long-term ick for him because it's here's the thing. This is probably the first time this has ever happened to him. And there's a first time when we don't do things so well. Okay, so now maybe he can be better next time. Don't let the first time, maybe one time I handled an earthquake so poorly. Okay, and I
Which one was it?
Remember when I froze in fear during the Spider-Man movie? And I'm a firefighter, okay? I'm supposed to know everything about emergency situations and what to do, and I do, but sometimes...
I think your response was better than mine.
No.
I wasn't panicking at all, and so Courtney got up, we're in the movie theater watching Spider-Man, a bunch of people get up to go towards the exit, and Courtney's like, should we go? And I'm sitting there and I just go, nah, there's nothing we can do. And I was just watching. I was like, that's the best part. And I was like, it makes the movie better. Okay, with earthquakes, I'm like, you're either gonna die or you're in a good place.
I know.
What are you gonna do? Run away from the earth?
Oh my God!
We're in the middle of a movie theater. You can get on the ground.
Run away from the earth is great.
There's a lot of okay, yeah. If you're close to a
God.
window, get away from the window, things like that. There's protocols.
No,
but,
you're right. We're in a war room.
There's nothing we can do.
You're right.
I think what sucks about this is it's that he fully and it is flight and I agree with what you're saying.
No, but what was going on through my mind was I have no idea where the exit is. Meanwhile, the big exit sign is right there. I'm literally the fear of my body. I was and people are clearly walking in a direction, and I was like, which way do I go?
No,
it's a movie theater. You can get on both sides.
When your panic response hits, there's no thought.
But then after that, I was like, I'm so mad at myself. Next time, I'm gonna know. And maybe that would be him.
Totally. Yeah. You can definitely train yourself for situations. Absolutely.
I was like, oh, like that was
And you look at the
inside.
exit sign and you're like, what does that word mean? What is that?
Excite?
So funny. One time, Raven and I got into a car accident, and it wasn't anything serious, but I definitely, like, it was one of those things where after it happened, I just, like, sat in the car silent.
Right.
She was driving, and I was like, I didn't know what to do, and she had to, like, look over at me, and she's like, can you do something? And I was like, so then, like, I got out of the car and, like, went to, like, check, you know, like, on the other person, like, on the other car, and, like, a piece of her bumper had, like, come off, so I, like, tried to get that out of the road, and I was like, let's get you into, like, the center lane. But there was definitely a moment where I was like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to
Totally.
do.
It's totally like a moment of like shock.
Yeah, there's fight, flight, or freeze. And truthfully, it's not like he made a conscious decision in that moment. It sounds like his brain
Yeah.
kicked in and he went.
Yeah, he probably thought they were all gonna run. Maybe.
That's a fair thought, like that he probably turned back and he's like, uh-oh.
He kept running. He Forrest Gumped on their ass.
Yeah, so he ran so far that they needed to call him to pick him up.
He's like running like 6 miles away, just.
He didn't look back.
I'm in Reno.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he ran for a long time. I think what's tough is, we're talking about the ick. I think that kind of like minimizes it and makes it, it gets us away from the conversation.
Yeah.
I get also of like and this goes, I think, the same with like your friends or whatever, of being like, if we're in an emergency situation, are we gonna like, is this person gonna have my back? Or do I, with this person, need to be fully prepared to handle things on my own? And that's probably a scary thought in general.
Yeah, because you don't expect something like this to happen. It's not something you really think to plan for. But I guess you never know these days. But like, I think it's just an uncomfortable, unfortunate thing that happened. But it's definitely a great thing to learn from. I don't know. I feel bad for him.
I feel
really
so bad for him.
him.
I can't help but feel horrible for him because
Yeah.
you know he's probably ran away and then was just like, I feel awful. Like,
Yeah, because like I think both, I would have chosen neither of those options. Like I feel like it's just what you do. You give them everything and you go. And
I
like,
think they're lucky it was a fake gun.
I think
in
the brother
situations.
probably could tell it was a fake gun. Because sometimes they'll like there's the people who will have like a stapler in their like sweatshirt pocket and like the shape of it will make you think it's a gun in their pocket or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, normally it's like, no, you give them the stuff and you just, because your life is more important. I would be afraid of running away because I'd be afraid that they would just shoot me.
That would be
That's
my
what
thought.
I don't get.
Yeah.
Like, if I see, maybe if guy had a knife, then maybe it's like a run situation, it's a run angle. But if somebody has a gun and you just turn tail and run, like,
The advice,
getting shot in the ass.
the
funny.
advice I've heard is if someone says, give me your money, you give them your money.
Yeah.
And then if they say, now get in the van, then you run or you fight
Yes,
or whatever.
yes.
Like, but you're playing a risk. If someone seems to have a gun and you're going to try to beat them up, you better hope it's not a gun.
yeah.
Like,
No, if there was a gun in front of me and somebody asked me to give them my stuff, I'm like, take whatever you want.
Take
you want my
the stuff.
shoes, take the shoes. Like,
Exactly.
I just want to go home.
Right.
Can I call an Uber before you take my phone? Like,
Yeah, oh my God.
They're like, okay, I'll call it. And it's like, can you, what kind of lift do you get? It's like not preferred. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on,
can you order me like Uber Eats too, so that I have food when I get home?
All right, dude. They do really good on Candy Crush, though, and you're like, sweet. Thank you. But it's also, we're talking about how his response wasn't his choice. It's not like she's making a choice in how she's feeling. Her feeling is also like, she's like, I can't help but feel this way.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, like she had a physical like cringe. Seems
the situation sucks. Comments, whether the change in your feelings about your fiance makes you an asshole or not, you would not be doing either of you any favors by staying with him out of guilt. That's fair. Someone said, my issue is he ran away and left you behind to defend yourself. Like if his instinct was to run away, he should have also grabbed you to run away with him. That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, and he just didn't even come back. Like that's...
Yeah, no, that there's like a lot of like
There's a lot of
protection layers there. So like I understand it's like, oh, he messed up this one time. Messing up can cost you a life. Like
Right.
like gender roles aside, you kind of hope that, you know, some people will really hope to feel some sense of protection or like you want to feel safe with your person. And like that was a very important moment for her. And like I think maybe she would have had, and maybe the response wouldn't have been as intense if her brother hadn't literally done the flip. You know, like she got a prime example of like the opposite of what her fiance did.
I think it almost would have been worse though if she was just with her fiance and he ran and left
Oh
her
my
by
God,
herself.
devastating.
Like that's
And that's a life. Like that's wild.
and it's just kind of like I can't be with someone who's gonna do that, you know. So lastly, someone said that's a tough one, but imagine if your brother wasn't there. It's scary to think your partner will not have your back. I've felt that ick you mentioned. It's really hard to bounce back from that. Not the asshole. Update.
Whoa.
Okay. I have broken up with my fiance.
Oh.
I did it this quick because it was not fair to him or to me to keep this relationship just stringing along. Yes, I loved him a lot and will always cherish the memories I had with him. But after the incident last night, I just don't have the same love for him anymore, and I don't think I ever will. To be clear, I don't blame him for what he did in running away. It was his natural instinct, and I completely understand that. But when my brother instinctively stepped in front of me to shield me from the attacker in comparison to my fiance just running away scared, it pretty much evaporated most, if not all, of my feelings for my fiance. I've just learned about myself that one of my love languages is safety and security. I let my fiance know and I apologized and told him I don't blame him at all for what happened the previous night. My fiance was devastated and he did cry a lot, but after some time he said he understood my decision. I still feel really guilty about it because my fiance is a really kind and sweet man, but it wouldn't be fair to him if my heart wasn't in it. He deserves to be in a relationship with someone who loves him for who he is, and I deserve to find someone who I wholly love. Cut to this ex-fiance walking up to a top of a mountain where there's a Shaolin monastery, and becoming the world's greatest fighter. I feel like he's like I'm gonna become.
He
Batman
needs a redemption.
No, that would be huge motivation for me. I'd be like, I'm gonna become the world's deadliest warrior now.
Yeah, no, I think she's so right, and that was a very important moment. In any relationship, you learn how your partner acts, and she realized that she wants someone who she can feel safe with, and that might not be a priority. Like I know people that'll be like, yeah, I would probably be the one punching and kicking a cyclist off or whatever, but yeah, I think that's totally fair, and the whole situation's really so many awful things happening back to back, but. And I'm so sorry, I laughed when she said that he cried. I'm like, this guy.
I just feel so bad for him because I'm like, once he did that and he can't take it back, and he's probably regretting it, and because the fact that he goes, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. It's just like, this one just
They're
makes me.
lucky no one was hurt.